everyone, and welcome to the March 2015 Gaming PC Build of the Month here at noobcomputerbuild.com. My name is Corey. I'm sorry for everybody that was looking forward to a build in February, but I never got around to doing the video, but I did do the article. Not much did change from last month, from January's builds, but nevertheless, here we are in March 2015 for the three gaming PC builds, the $600 build, the $1,000 build, and the $1,500 build. And I have also included again a gaming PC peripheral considerations that include three budget categories for keyboards, mice, and monitors, as they are not included in the regular build categories. But it is here as a separate article on the website for anybody that is looking for those three pieces of hardware, as well as you can't really run your gaming PC without them. As well, there are operating system options to go with those. So keep that in mind. If your budget is $600, and you build a $600 gaming PC build, that you will need to spend a little extra for peripherals if you don't have them. But if you have some lying around, just use those. Well, up to you. Anyways, let's get started with before we get started, a few details here. There will be the hardware will be linked in the description below to each of the builds, as well to the website itself. And if you want to learn more about each of the builds and what I have to say, or each of the builds and the particular hardware that's within the builds, please visit the site at noobcomputerbuild.com, and you can read more into it there, as well comment and start a conversation or whatever you like. All right, now let's get started. I will link all the builds at the bottom here so that you can just quickly jump to them within the video, and as well as quickly jump to the peripheral section if that's what you want to jump to. But nevertheless, let's get started with the $1,500 build. So the $1,500 build this month comes out to, right now, keep in mind prices change, right now it's $1,469. This build will be great for those that want to game at extreme settings at 2560 by 1400 resolutions, for example. No problem at 1920 by 1080, but higher resolutions for sure. And so if this is what you're aiming for, this is what your monitor is going to be, or if you have one already, this would be the build for you. So starting off with the processor, we have as per usual for months now, the Intel Core i5-4690K processor. Comes in at $238.99 right now. To pair with that, to easily overclock that, we have the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo cooler for $34.99. The motherboard, the Asus Z97A motherboard for $154.68 right now. And then the almighty powerful, we have a Zotac GeForce GTX 980 graphics card, $533.99. RAM has gone down significantly in price. So we have this Crucial Ballistic Sport kit RAM again. So it's 16 gigabytes worth, so two 8 gigabyte sticks. And it only comes in at $115.99, which is crazy. So I think a few months ago, 16 gigabyte kits were going for $150 easily. So this is great. Hard drive, 1 terabyte Seagate Barracuda for $52.25. And to pair with that is a solid state drive. For any gaming PC build you build, I would suggest a solid state drive if you can afford it, and if you don't need a ton of space right off the bat, because they can get pricey as they get up in value of space. But this one here is a Samsung 850 Pro, 128 gigabyte, one of the fastest 2.5-inch SSDs out right now. This comes in at a cheap $99.99 right now. So a great boot drive to pair with the Seagate Barracuda. Switched up the power supply this month, as the previous one went up in price a bit, but this one here is the Corsair RM series 750 watt. So $99.99. It's fully modular. It has the 0 RPM fan mode, so it is super, super quiet. And then the case is a newer case. I think came out about a month ago. It's a really silent case. It's the Cooler Master Silencio 652S. It's a mid-tower case coming in at $119.99. And then as I always say, the optional optical drive, this light-on basic optical drive for $18.99. And now for some upgrade suggestions if you want, or if you have a little extra to spend, or want some suggestions for the future, if you have more to spend in the future, etc., etc. Here are some suggestions for the $1,500 build. The Intel Core i7-4790K processor, $337.99. The 4690K i5 should be perfectly fine for gaming. And I usually wouldn't recommend the i7, but if you do more than gaming or have a particular game that will take advantage of it, then by all means. A better single kind of graphics card, this dual GPU card, It's a closed loop liquid cooler included. These XFX R9295 is a super powerful card. So if you want to do high-end gaming, 4K gaming, for example, $920. So it's pretty pricey, but it's a upgrade suggestion. For a cooler, liquid cooler, if you want to go with a liquid cooler instead, you can go with this brand new Corsair Hydro Series H100i GTX liquid CPU cooler, just newly released from Corsair. This one comes in at $119.99. Or if you want a a larger SSD, you get a 1 terabyte Samsung 850 EVO 2.5-inch drive. So it's not the fastest Samsung drives out, but this one's $399.99. So affordable for an SSD at 1 terabyte. Now moving on to the $1,000 gaming PC build. Coming in at a current, a little bit over budget, $1,017. So, as seen in the $1,500 build, we have the Intel Core i5-4690K for $239.99, as well as the Cooler Master Hyper 212 EVO cooler for $34.99. For a motherboard, and this is priced quite well right now, this Gigabyte Z97 Gaming 5 motherboard comes in at $129.99. This is priced reasonably well. I was going to include the Gaming 3 because prices were a little wonky, but this just happened to go down lately. So if you find this one goes up in price, you could always go with the Gaming 3. The difference being this has higher quality hardware, or it uses higher quality parts, in its board. But the features are pretty much the same. Graphics card here, we have the EVGA GeForce GTX 970 for the ACX version for $329.99. Super powerful card. You will be able to game at 2560 by 1440 pretty easily. Maybe not extreme in all games, but you should be able to get by just fine with this card. It's a great value for its cost. We have 8 gigabytes Crucial Ballistics Sport RAM, $60.65. So this has gone down in price as well. A 1 terabyte Seagate Barracuda, $50.97. And no, I don't include an SSD in the regular build kind of outline here, as the budget doesn't allow for it. But you could switch out this, spend a little more than $50.97 to get a 128 gigabyte cheapo SSD if you want for a little more. But then again, you're sacrificing the space. But you could also get that later if you don't have the budget now, or do whatever you like. But this is my suggestion to get going. Lots of space with this 1 terabyte drive without the SSD. Power supply, EVGA Supernova 650 watt G1 series power supply for $84.99. And the computer case, it's a newer case, newer as in last fall, and then they released the colored ones a little later in the year last year, so at the very end of the year. And this one I chose here is the black-red version of the NZXT mid-tower S340 for $69.99. So it's a very affordable, very high-quality case for its cost as well. And then optical drive. Note, I had put optional note here because in this for $18.99 you can get one, such as light-on one, but keep in mind this NZXT case does not support space for an optical drive. So you can either purchase this if you want and you want to install an OS and just plug it directly into the motherboard, install your OS, or install any software that you need right away, and then kind of put it to the side, or install your OS with the thumb drive or USB drive, and not purchase an optical drive at all, because you will not be able to store it within the case itself. And moving on to some upgrade suggestions for the $1,000 build. Samsung 850 Pro, 128 gigabyte SSD, because there is not one in this build, $99.99 if you want that. You want double the space, 2 terabyte Seagate Barracuda, $79.99. You can SLI your graphics card, get tons of, it could be a future upgrade or an upgrade now for tons of graphics power. For another $329.99 for another card. And as well, I have included a liquid CPU cooler here, which is another one of Corsair Hydro Series newly released coolers, this H80i GT, for $99.99, so $20 less than the other new one. And that does it for the $1,000 build. Moving on to the $600 build, not much has changed. A little bit. It's kind of hasn't changed too much in the last few months, but little things keep upgrading it as time goes on. So I think it just gets better and better by just a little bit at a time. So starting off with the processor, really cheap now, $99.99. The AMD FX 6300 6-core processor, easily overclockable, been in the $600 build for a long time, and a great purchase. Pairing that with this Micro ATX Gigabyte AM3 Plus GA78 LMT motherboard for $58.99, and then pair that with either of these graphics cards. So last month, NVIDIA released the GTX 960, which is kind of hand in hand with the R9 280 that I have been including in the $600 builds. The only difference is that the Radeon R9 280 performs slightly better than the newly released GeForce GTX 960. But it's a little bit cheaper, runs a little bit faster, so my suggestion is to go with the R9 280. However, probably won't kick yourself if you go with the GTX 960, and it does use less energy, so it's more efficient. And if that's a concern to you, then go with the 960. And so up to you with these two. If you want pure performance for value, go with the R9 280. So RAM, we have 8GB Crucial Ballistic Sport, $60.65. Hard drive, Seagate Barracuda, 1TB, $50.97. Power supply, EVGA 600 watt power supply that you see here, the bronze certified version, $58.25. And then the case, we have this very nice Micro ATX case, the Thermaltake Urban S1 for $39.48. It's a very sleek kind of, I don't know what to call, modern, nice looking case, and it's very compact. So we use the Micro ATX size motherboard so we can get a nice compact $600 gaming PC build. And then, as per usual, the optional optical drive for $18.99, cheapo optical drive, this Lite-On 24 times SATA drive. So, and this comes out to a total of $584 under budget. So a little extra room if you want to spend a little extra or take into consideration shipping or whatnot. But this, there you have it, $600 build. And so for some upgrade suggestions, if you want to spend a little more, you can go with the AMD FX 8320 8-core edition processor, $139.99, so about $40 more than the FX 6300. You can go with double the space with a 2TB drive, $79.99 hard drive. You want a really nice Micro ATX case. It's a little pricey, but it's super nice. This BitPhoenix power supply. What am I talking about? This BitPhoenix Pandora PC case right here for $109. So a little pricey, but I like it. It's a nice case. It's a nice slim Micro ATX case, so a little smaller, I think, than the included one in the build. And then you can go with an SSD if you want one. So this is one of the not cheapo, but for $79.99 you can go get this 128 gigabyte Samsung Evo 850 Evo. So it's not the Samsung 850 Pro, a little not quite as fast, but it is still a worthy upgrade, I think. Just any SSD over a regular drive. And there you have it for the three builds. I'll now get into the kind of the peripheral section for those that want to tune in for that. If you're not going to tune in for that, then by all means check out the website. Thanks for tuning in, but I will get into the three peripheral sections now. So there's the higher end, the mid-range, and the low, not low, but the basic PC peripherals. So that being said, here are the March 2015 gaming PC peripherals of the month. So we'll start with the higher end, not the most expensive, but the kind of the highest, most popular quality, high quality, most popular hardware in these three categories of keyboard, mouse, and monitor. And so for keyboard in the high end, we have the same as we did last time, the Razer Black Widow Chroma mechanical gaming keyboard. This comes in at $159.99. Mouse, Logitech G502 Proteus. Fantastic mouse, $68.12. So it doesn't put you, it's not too expensive, but it's a great mouse, even though it's in the high-end peripheral section. The monitor we have this month, again, we did in February as well, is the Tempest 27-inch, the resolution 2560 by 1440, 120 hertz a monitor. It's a great monitor, $450. Check it out right now. Last I checked, it was out of stock, but I kept it in here because it'll be in stock soon, and it is a great gaming monitor. So keep that in mind if you want a higher end monitor. a higher end, higher resolution monitor. Now for the mid-range peripherals, keyboard, SteelSeries Apex Gaming Keyboard, $81.99. The most we have the Logitech G302 Dadius Prime, $49.99, so $50. And then the monitor, we went with a 1080p monitor, this AOC GT G246OPQU. It's a high frequency monitor, low response time. So it's great gaming monitor. So $325.29, not cheap, but it's 24 inches. But overall, a great monitor, especially for FPS games. And now for the basic PC peripherals, some suggestions. We have the keyboard, this Logitech G105, only $39.99. It's great value for your buck right there. The most we have the Roccat. We've included this one last time. So the Roccat Lua tri-button gaming mouse, $29.99. And then for a monitor, it's also 1080p monitor. I tend to like BenQ monitors, so this BenQ gaming monitor RL2 455HM 24-inch, $206.29. So that does it for the three peripheral sections. If you want an operating system, don't have an operating system already, some options are, which are pretty well known, Windows 8.1, $91.71. If you want to go with Windows 7, up to you, $86.46 right now. Some free suggestions if you want that. Ubuntu, it's free. You can download that, install that via a USB stick or something like that, or SteamOS, which is in beta right now. It said it's going to be releasing soon, but it's been saying that for a while. But regardless, you can still install the beta, and it's free. So that does it for the three builds: the $600, $1,000, $1,500, the gaming PC peripherals, and these OS suggestions for the March 2015. My name is Corey. Thank you for checking the video out again. And if you like, you can subscribe, like the video, as well visit the website, and hear from you next time.